I got what you need. Won't you come with an open heart and listen to my love? Won't you come with an open heart and listen to my love?
Hello, my name is Darold Gholston, and I'd like to welcome you to Listen to Love, segment number 6, where we discuss intimate topics and explore creative ways to celebrate love. Thank you for tuning in to Listen to Love on the Art of Romance channel. I'd like to introduce to you Chris Briney, the yoga specialist. He's going to educate us, inspire us, give us some insights on the art, the history, and the motivation behind yoga. But before that, we're going to hear this sensual song called Make It Rain by Daisy Love. So sit back, enjoy, and relax to the sensual sound. Make it rain, make it rain, make it rain, make it rain, here on Listen to Love.
Make it rain. Makes me want your body close to mine. Oh, I can feel your hands exploring all the places that come to mind. And something about the thought of you is telling me I don't wanna be alone tonight. 'Cause every little thing you do saturates me in the sea of love. Baby, make it rain. To me and let the rivers flow. Ecstasy awaits me. I've lost all control. Surrender is all I can do. Can't think of anyone but you. My wish is your kiss, a taste of heaven's bliss. Baby, sink into me and let the rivers flow. Follow me like rain.
Hello, welcome to Listen to Love. Today's guest is Chris Briney.
Hi.
Hey, Chris, I am very pleased to have you on the show today. And Chris, can you tell me a little bit about what you do and where you're from? And
Sure. Well, first, I'm really grateful to be here. I am by profession an Iyengar yoga teacher and by passion a practitioner of yoga. I think of particular relevance here. I've been married for over 10 years, have a son. I live in Royal Oak, Michigan, and very passionate about what yoga brings out in a person and in a relationship.
okay, can you expand on that a little bit, Chris, and tell me exactly what you mean by that?
For me, we often associate yoga with fitness, exercise, a new workout routine, stretching. But really what I found over 20 years of practice and 15 years of teaching is that it's about bringing out your full potential, your full physical vitality, your full mental health, and your full well-being spiritually. And those three things I think are really key to having a healthy relationship. You have to be a healthy person physically, a healthy person emotionally, and in my view, spiritually, in order to relate well with another.
Chris, how can this help couples with their sensual appetites and help couples embrace and become as one?
Yeah, it's a good question. I knew we were coming to that. I'll just share a little bit of a personal story. I got married, what for some is a little later maybe in life. I was 33 when I got married. If you can imagine, I had been through other relationships, and many of them before I started practicing yoga. And what I found is it was difficult to maintain a healthy relationship, we'll just say it that way. And first and foremost, I didn't have a very healthy relationship with myself in certain ways. So out of practicing yoga, more and more, the more I practiced, the more I saw my habits getting cleaned up, my thinking getting cleaned up, starting to move beyond my own self-centeredness, I guess you'd say, into being able to really give and receive love, because I was filling my own cup through practice. So that I would start there by saying, the more that I have enhanced my own experience of life, my own well-being, the more I'm able to be in a healthy partnership. So I feel that's really a key way that yoga contributes to a coupleship. It fills up each individual so that they come together full or fuller, not one trying to get from the other.
Wow, that's well said. Can you tell me about the current relationship that you're in now, and how does the yoga practice play a part in that?
It's really been the foundation of our relationship and how we interact. There are principles that are part of yoga that we strive to incorporate into our lives as a couple, also as parents. I could go a little further into that. Things like truthfulness, fidelity, being kind, being compassionate, practicing those behaviors in our relationship, in our parenting, in our society. And I think what our practice of yoga calls us to be as people has us just show up better for each other as well.
Chris, there's several different type of yoga techniques, and I've heard of people having the room extremely warm, like 90 degrees. I've also heard people who place candles all around the room, and some say that is a form of religion. Can you explain that, and can you clear up the myth about some of these things that people do not know about the art form?
Yeah, that's a great question. I do know there's a style of yoga where the room is heated to very specific temperature called Bikram yoga. I don't know exactly what temperature that is, but I don't have any experience with that in particular, except my understanding is that there's a certain clear methodology. There are some other styles where an idea is taken and then a spin is put on it. So yoga is known for its ability to create a sense of inner calm and inner stillness, or to at least remove tensions that can accumulate in the body, in the tissues. But we also talk about body language, how our state of mind is reflected in the body. So given that yoga is known for creating some freedom from tension or relief from stress, I don't know, maybe why the candles are put in there is it has that ambiance. And to me, that's a little bit putting the cart before the horse. I think if we do the yoga correctly, the result comes with or without candles. But it has an attractive quality for some people to, have soft lighting, and candle light's very sensual and peaceful in some ways. So in terms of whether or not yoga is a religion, there is no particular religious quality to it. It grew up very closely with a spiritual life in India. My understanding of religion is you have a certain belief system that you adopt and certain practices you adopt as a result of that belief system. The practices of yoga are taken in order, it's more of a science, not to affirm or enforce any particular belief system. Practices of yoga are there to bring out your own sense of your connection to a higher power. So my teacher has said, yoga really isn't a religion, it's the science of religion. And if you practice it well, you'll go deeper into the religion of your choice. So hopefully that answers somewhat the question about yoga and religion.
Chris, you also mentioned meditation. Does meditation play a tremendous part in your teaching?
I would say it does, in the sense that meditation is the aim. Sometimes we think yoga and meditation are two different things. Yoga is the thing where you bend yourself up into all the pretzel positions. Meditation is where you sit with your eyes closed and go into super consciousness. And yoga doesn't really make that distinction. The tradition of yoga, meditation is part and parcel of the whole package. We use the same meditative mind from the very first aspects of the practice, which is the things I mentioned about in my relationship, being honest, not doing harm to others, not stealing, so on and so forth, having some discipline, having a study of ourselves. That's all meditative. And then it's also the culmination. If the practice is done well, you become naturally meditative. And so it's a huge part, because in the meditation mind, there's no more of that sense of us versus them, him versus her. What is it? Men from Mars, women from Venus. That kind of disappears. So meditation is a big key. It's really the whole aim.
And I totally agree with you, Chris. Have you had the experience of couples coming to the class and these couples have it really helped their relationships?
It's interesting. What I find is some couples, it's one or the other. One comes to yoga, the other one sort of resists. But what I'm now starting to see, I've been at this for long enough now, that the partner who has resisted, I'm thinking of one couple in particular. When this woman first came to me, she said something like, my husband will never, I can't imagine my husband ever coming, or something to that effect is my memory. And now he practices more than she does. And so it was like her gravity of practice pulled him in. Now that's not always the case. I've seen other couples where they also saw they were on different paths and chose to go those paths. But I think that when somebody really takes root in the practice, that will draw the other partner to them in a certain way. The other partner may or may not practice yoga. And the last thing I would say is that being in a part of a coupleship where we do practice yoga, I can't tell you, it's like any coupleship, we have had our challenges and such, but to share that same commitment and same passion really has been a contribution not only to my coupleship, but also to my practice. So my wife's interest in yoga has inspired mine, and I'm quite sure vice versa. And when you practice yoga, your life gets better. So for sure, it's enhanced a coupleship.
Well, Chris, I'd like to thank you very much for being a part of Listen to Love. And also, Chris, would you like to leave some parting words with our studio audience to give them some encouragement to start practicing this art craft of yoga?
Well, first, thank you for the opportunity to speak about it. It's a subject I'm very passionate about, and I appreciate your generosity bringing me on the program. And all I would say to people out there considering it is, one, don't hesitate. Do some homework, find a teacher, really look into the qualifications of your teacher, find someone you feel confident you can follow and listen to, and who has the skills you want. But then don't hesitate to take these actions that will for sure enhance your life, because life is for enhancing.
Thank you very much, Chris, and thank you for listening to another segment of Listen to Love. Now we're going to hear from that magnificent violinist, Harry Habakivian, known as Forte. Love Vows. That was the sensual sound of Harry Havikibian here on Listen to Love. And remember, yoga has a lot of benefits. It can strengthen your core. It can help you relax by meditation, and it can help you become a better lover. Thank you for listening to Love.
You're listening to Love on the Art of Romance channel.
Whether you're looking to spice things up or indulge in a bit of self-care, let Art of Romance fulfill all your romantic needs, from sensual adult games to massage oils, candles, chocolate treats, and much, much more. Do you desire a little romance in your life? Visit us at artofromancellc.com. artofromancellc.com.